Studio guest. Hello, Mr. George. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Thanks, Tori.
George is from Ulrich Lifestyles, and we like to bring him in because we love his accent. That's why.
Is that why?
No, it's because
nothing to do with sheds.
See, I love how you say sheds. Sheds. When we're talking about, like, I don't even like to say sheds. I don't even like to say that. You know why? Because it's so much over the top. Like, it's sheds are here, and what you guys do at Ulrich Lifestyles is beyond, is like out of this world. And so if you're not familiar, I'm speaking with the listeners right now, if you're not familiar with what Ulrich does and what they're all about, perhaps we should enlighten them, George, Mr.
Yes,
Brown.
Absolutely.
About what you guys do, because it's pretty amazing. It's not just when I think of shed, and that's why I don't like to use the word shed so much, because when I think of shed, I think of when I was a kid, and it was one of those rickety metal things in the backyard, and with a gust of wind, the thing would fall over. You know what I mean? That's what I have in my. That's not what you guys do.
No. If you think of small houses, then you'll be closer to the mark. To have a structure that is basically built like a little house, and it can be a man cave, she shed, somewhere, a home office, somewhere to hang out. So less than half of what we sell is actually for just basic sheds.
Exactly. You've made things like gyms.
That's correct.
You've done, and last time or the time before you were here, we were kind of talking about some of the really outrageous things you've been asked to do. Remind me what one of the things you were doing, were you talking about like having TVs? There were a bunch of TVs in one. Talk to me about just over the top outrageous that you've done.
Well, one of them was a customer who wanted a very large dog house that had air conditioning, heating, TV in it, insulated, lined, and another one was a...
wait a minute, and how many... Wait. Okay, so this was a dog... You just said a dog house. This was a dog house. A dog house.
For 5 dogs.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to say. So they had 5 dogs, and the dogs, of course, need their own house. So they call Ulrich, and you do this.
That's what we did, and it had a porch as well.
Well, why? Of course it needed a porch. Of course. I'm surprised. Did you have a swing on the porch? Of course. And when you get these calls, because we laugh, we giggle, but they're becoming more and more kind of like the norm. I see them on TikTok. I think they're amazingly beautiful, these outrageous dog houses. But when you get that initial call, what do you do? What do you say? How do you plan this out for the customer?
Well, what I do is to understand what it is that they want, and what is their dreams and their goals, and what do they have in their mind, and then I turn that into reality. I create that for them. I design it for them.
And while they're saying, listen, we have 5 dogs and we want a beautiful house. We want air conditioning. We want TV. I mean, do you just stand there and smile? That, because I just think that is so cool. The people who do something like this they have to think of dogs as just people. It's their kids. And they're doing this, right?
It's their family.
It's
Absolutely.
Their family,
yeah.
And they get a house.
Yeah.
They get a house. Is there something cool that you're working on right now? A project?
At the moment, I've got someone who wants a chicken coop, but it's not your regular chicken coop.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's an over-the-top chicken coop.
Do the chickens see, this is why we bring you in. This is why the stories are just the best. Okay, so how do you make a chicken coop? Just where do you start?
Well, I start with trying to understand, the size and what it is that they want specifically. I know a little bit about, chicken coops and needing a nesting box, But a lot of that, the customer will provide that. We provide the opening for them to put in their own items, if you like.
Sure. Do the chickens get a TV as well? I mean, what are we looking at here?
I don't think so. But they have air, circulation, good ventilation, which our sheds do have.
You mentioned doing she sheds and man caves and alike. Do you ever get a request for one of those kinds of lifestyle sheds that look like the house? Like they want it to look like the big house to match.
Oh, absolutely. Right down to the color, the roof color.
Yeah?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is very common. They want the the studio or the she shed to match the house. They don't want it to be, sort of a little bit quirky.
Right. Okay. So are you able to match pretty well?
Yes, we can offer all of the colors. We've got a large color selection. They can choose whatever color they want. We'll even get special colors mixed to match different roofs, custom colored roofs.
How long does something like that take? If I wanted something that custom, any of these that we're talking about, the doghouse, the chicken coop, anything that's custom, really that the customer wants real specific stuff. How long does it usually take from start to finish?
A lot of it depends on the type of doors that they may require, but for the actual production of it, 3 weeks.
That's not long at all. You can make that happen in 3 weeks' time.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. I've seen the website, and the pictures are just absolutely stunning. But somebody might say, I'd love that, but I don't think I can afford it. Do you guys offer any kind of deals or financing? How do we finance something like this?
Well, we offer two different finance options. We also have rent-to-own options where we can deliver the shed as a pre-built unit. So we've got a wide range of different options for them, including, no interest if paid in full in 6 months. And so, yes, we've got a wide selection for them.
So there is always a way.
There's always a way.
And do you work with someone who said, hey, listen, I'm a little short on cash. I want to do this. Do you sit and work with them to make it happen?
Absolutely. That happens quite often where someone wants to reserve their cash for something else, or usually they want to reserve it to actually finish the interior themselves. And so that way they can hold back their cash, finance the purchase of the actual unit, and then use their cash to finish off the inside.
One more question, because then I know you have to go. You're a busy man. Is it done on a slab, or is it done on the ground, like on grass? Like where do you build? Where do you start to build?
Yes and yes. So if some customers prefer to put down a concrete slab that we put the building on, some customers actually want a concrete slab floor, and we can provide that as well. Or a wooden floor, which is our standard, that can go directly onto dirt, gravel, onto a existing piece of concrete. So all of those options are available.
You have options just galore. You have so many options, it's almost hard to pick. George Brown, your partner is Brett Flanders. We haven't seen Brett in a while. What have you done with Brett?
I'll make sure he'll turn up here soon.
We haven't seen him yet. If you want to see some of these amazing pictures, it's ulrichlifestyle.com, correct?
Correct.
Go see some of the pictures. Go see in person, because sometimes, the pictures are great, but to get a real sense, you probably should go to the showroom. Am I right?
Correct. That's the only way to come and touch it, feel it, see it, and then we can show all of the different options that we provide, which is hundreds. There's hundreds and hundreds of different options.
Fantastic. George, always a pleasure having you in studio. I hope you have a pleasant holiday, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Don't forget my present.
I won't
you
forget.
You forgot
I forgot
today.
this time, yes.
Yeah,
I'll
but
bring
next time you're good, right?
I'll send it with Brett.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Do you suffer from horrific